If I want to bring change to this place, if I don't want to live in fear, and I don't want my children to live in fear, and I don't want my family to live in fear, this is the way to do this. This is the change to bring.
Women who don't have education or a profession, these women especially, they are also interested with the interaction and the connection with other women from different culture.
Hi, I'm Steven Hoffen. I'm 12 years old and I'm from New York City. Today, I'm going to be showing you what Sindyanna of Galilee is and a new project that they've been working on, hydroponic farming. So how does a 7th grader in Manhattan get involved with innovations happening halfway across the world? Well, I'll tell you. On a trip to Israel in 2019, my brother and I spent a day at Sindyanana and got to know the amazing people and the organization. There was something about it that made me want to go back there. Their organization empowers Jewish and Arab women to work together, which is very meaningful to me. When the pandemic hit in 2020, I couldn't go visit them, but I was able to learn about their newest project, the hydroponics project. Sindyanna is a non-profit organization located in the North Galilee region of Israel, in a village called Cana of Galilee. Their mission is to bring Jews and Arabs together and to create peace in Israel and to teach Jewish and Arab women lots of things so that they can become independent, confident people who are ready for the future. In early 2020, Sindyanna started its newest project, the Hydroponics Project. This project focuses on the same goals as Sindyanna's other work, to help women achieve greater independence. The Hydroponics Project also gives women the opportunity to become producers themselves and to sell what they make. First, we need to learn what hydroponics is. When you think of farming, you're probably thinking of plants and soil on the ground. Well, what if I told you that there's a different way of farming, called hydroponic farming, that doesn't use any soil at all? Hydroponics grows plants directly in water. Here's a typical hydroponic system. Basically, it's an array of pipes with circular cutouts where you put the roots of the plants. The plants grow because inside the pipes is a constant flow of water and nutrients. The water has all of the nutrients that you would normally get from soil. You can stack these pipes so that you can grow more plants without using more space. So who's involved in Sindyanna's hydroponics project? I had the opportunity to interview 2 Palestinian women, Mofida and Marwa. They told me a bit about their backgrounds and how they became interested in hydroponics.
وأبوي كان فلاح وكنت أحب الأرض. من جيل صغير أنا حبيت الأرض، من يومها أنا دائما بزرع وما زلت. بالنسبة للوضع الصحي حاليا بوضع صحي مش كثير بيسمح ليش إني أنا أقدر أشتغل في الأرض كثير. فلما نزلوا إعلان عن دورة زراعة مائية ما ترددت إني أنا أفوت هذا المجال لأنه بلاقي نفسي في هاي الزراعة والإشي أسهل ما بده جهد جسماني.
كانت محدودة جدا وصغيرة، زرعت بس في أحواض خشبية مزروعات. حبيت أستثمر الموضوع عندي مشان من جهة محافظة على البيئة وتوفير في المياه، كل هاي الأشياء والابتعاد عن استعمال المبيدات والمواد السامة.
I'm really grateful that Marwa and Mofida were willing to talk with me. We'll be hearing more from them soon. People at Sindyanna think that hydroponics are really important for the future of Arab women and even the world. Reason number 1, traditional food production methods damage our environment and won't be sustainable in the long run. The traditional food production system works like this. The food is made in a farm somewhere far away from you, in the countryside or the suburbs. Then it has to get shipped to a warehouse and then it gets driven to the store. Finally, you have to go pick it up and then you bring it to your house. The reason that this system is so bad is that the whole process can take a lot of money and can be damaging to the environment.
When I say, when you grow your food, when you grow leaves in your backyard and you put it in your salad, you have, first of all, clean food that you know that you grow it. And I don't have to pay for a car to bring it to me to the supermarket, and after that to me. I save a lot of cost for me personally, economically, and using materials that can contaminate the environment.
But are hydroponics really the key to stopping climate change? I asked this question to Yoav Tami, the director of the project.
It'll take a lot more than that to stop climate change. But I know that if you shift only like 30% of the food production into the cities, you can reduce the damage that agriculture does to the planet a lot. This is something that has to be done. Food production has to move into the city in order for us to have a sustainable food supply chain.
Hydroponics are also really useful for creating a sustainable food supply because of another big problem, land scarcity. Land scarcity means that the amount of land available for food production is decreasing. This is because of climate change and global warming, which is making some parts of the world unable to grow food in. Another reason that land is becoming more scarce is because people are using land for other things such as building buildings and making new cities. Also, especially in most parts of Israel, you cannot grow any food at all because the soil is really sand and is not fertile enough to make any food. In many Arab communities, the buildings are so close together that nobody has land to grow food. Here's Mufida, one of the participants in the project.
وبعدين هي حل لمشكلة اللي ما عندوش مساحات أراضي. المنظومة هاي بتنحط في أكل مساحة، يعني على حيط الدار، على الشرفات، على دار الدار، في مجال إن إحنا نحط هاي المنظومة في كل بيت.
Reason number 2, hydroponics is a kind of technology that can help people become independent and self-supporting. That's especially important right now because many Arab women are unemployed.
The rate of Arab women in the Israeli workforce is very, very low. We see this as one of the main problems in the Arab society now that causes a lot of other problems. So in order to address this, we need to support the economy, we need to try and open workplaces, and we have to give these women the tool in order to get into the workplace.
Lots of workers have also lost their jobs because of automation. With new technology, some business owners are able to replace workers with robots. This change is called automation because machines are able to do stuff automatically. Automation is good for the business owners because they have to pay fewer people and the machines might even get work done better and faster than human workers. On the downside though, a lot of people don't have jobs any longer because they are getting replaced by machines. The people who are at most risk of having their jobs eliminated are factory workers, cleaners, and others because they do mostly repetitive tasks. This is really bad because many of these workers don't have the education or skills to get a job that will be hard to be replaced by machine. So if more and more jobs are being eliminated and more people can't find work to earn an income, how are they supposed to survive? Hydroponics can help in two main ways. One, in the short term, hydroponics can provide extra food for someone's family and supplement their income. If they have food left over, they can sell it for money and make a profit. In the long term, knowing how to make use of hydroponics will prepare people for the jobs of the future. Like Yoav said, the economy is changing. As food production moves away from the countryside and into the cities, companies will want to hire people who understand hydroponics and similar technologies. Also, there will be more demand for food from small producers who have hydroponic systems in their homes. It's even possible that at some point, people like Marwa and Mofida won't have to rely on someone else to hire them for jobs because they'll be able to run their own businesses. Reason number 3, hydroponics can also bring Jews and Arabs together. A really important part of Sindyanna's hydroponics project is developing an online platform that people can use to help each other set up their hydroponic systems and figure things out together.
Where I grew up in Israel, you don't meet Arabs at all. I grew up without meeting or hearing Arabic, only in the news. A platform today, an internet platform, is a very good tool to connect people who have the same interest. And it doesn't matter where they're from. And it doesn't matter what religion they are or what language they speak. You produce food, okay? So you have the same interest with other people producing food.
Most of these women, they look for connection. They look for equal opportunity. And when the two communities gathering together, we discover how much we live in prejudice and how much we can, with this connection, break these borders.
So how does it all work? How does Sindyanna teach hydroponics to people like Marwa and Mufida, and what do they have to do to keep their plants growing? Before these women actually got their systems and started using them, they needed to go through a course to show them the ropes so that they're fully prepared to correctly operate their hydroponic system. I also asked Marwa and Mufida to explain the process of each cycle, the steps involved in growing new plants from scratch, and what you have to do to maintain the system.
بالنسبة للمنظومة في مراحل اللي إحنا لازم نتدرب عليها مشان تنجح المنظومة معانا. في البداية إحنا بدنا نجيب أشكال، إما إن إحنا نبقى زارعين بذور صغيرة بنزرعها إحنا عنا في البيت عبال لا تنمو يصير لها أوراق صغيرة، وبعدها بنغسل الجذور فيها وبنزرعها في المنظومة، أو بنشتري الأشكال من المشاتل. بخلال ما إن نزرعهن طبعاً المنظومة مطلوب منا إن إحنا بالبداية نضل نفحص. طبعاً إذا في نقص في عنا حوض مية، هذا حوض المي ممنوع ينقص أكثر من اللازم. كل فترة إحنا لازم إن إذا نقصت المية مجبورين إن نعبي مية فيه.
هي مش بحاجة لعناية كثير. دائما لازم نتطلع إذا في ورق ذبلان، إذا في أي إشي مشان نعرف شو المشاكل الموجودة. كل تغييرات في الورق بيعطينا نوع مشكلة محدد. نطلع إذا في حشرات أو إذا في أشياء تضر النبتة بنبعدها، ونحاول نحافظ عليهم من درجة الحرارة المباشرة. نحاول نهيئ جو مناسب أكثر، وهاي هي متعة الواحد إنه يطلع عليهم ويشوف يتابع نسبة لما النبتة تكبر أو الثمرة تكبر. أنا بحب أشرب قهوتي هناك تقريبا كل يوم، بحب أقعد وأطلع عليها، مجرد إنه أشوفها فأنا بنبسط.
Once you have some experience with hydroponics, it's actually pretty easy to operate. Right now, Sindyanna's hydroponics project is still at an early stage, but like we've already heard, Sindyanna has big plans for the future, including creating an online platform to connect people who are doing hydroponics. To finish up this documentary, though, I want to share some clips of Mufida and Marwa talking about their goals for the future and how hydroponics is part of that. Here's Mufida.
أكيد إحنا بنفتخر إن إحنا من السباقين لهيك مشروع، ونجاحنا فيه كل مرة بيكون نجاح أكثر. لما بيصير عندنا خبرة أكثر وأكثر وبتنحل كل المشاكل اللي بتواجهنا، أكيد إحنا رايحين نوسع هذا المشروع، ويكون لنا النية إنه نوسع هذا المشروع، يكون لنا مصدر رزق من هذا المشروع. ثالث إشي إن إحنا هاي فرصة إلنا إن إحنا ناكل نباتات طبيعية بدون أي مبيدات، وهذا الإشي اللي إحنا بندور عليه من ناحية صحية. الكل بيدور عليه اليوم، بده يدور على أكل صحة.
يعني أنا أول مرة زرعت وانبسطت في الخس اللي طلع عندي، أهديت لأمي ولأختي. ردود الفعل اللي أخذتها من الناس اللي جربوا الخضرة اللي عندي إنه استمري، يعني إنه حاولي. يعني بتذكر فترة كان في عندي السلري، كان يعني جماله رهيب وكبر مليح وحلو يعني. فمن بعيد جارتنا بتسألني إنه شو هذا، وعن جد يعني مش معقول قديش الإشي بحمس إنه الواحد يكون عنده نفس المنظومة. طريق الشغل الجماعي، يعني إنسان لحاله بقدرش يغير، أنا بقدر أغير في بيتي، في محيط اللي حوالي، يعني في الحارة، في الجيران، في الأهل.
Marwa is really inspiring to me because I think she's right that we need cooperation in order to make a change in society. I think Sindyanna is especially good at promoting cooperation because all of Sindyanna's projects, including the hydroponics project, help Jewish and Arab women build relationships with one another. As Nadia told me, when people feel less afraid of each other, they can solve problems together and create a more peaceful society. Sindyanna is working hard on the hydroponics project and has been successful, but there's a lot more that needs to be done, especially getting more people involved. If you want to get involved in Sindyanna's projects, contact them. And whether you live near Sundiana or in a different country, you should tell people about hydroponics and try building your own system. You can get fresher, healthier, and tastier food and reduce your carbon footprint. Another way you can support Sindyanna is to purchase Sindyanna's award-winning olive oil and honey. It's delicious. I've tasted it for myself. Sindyanna follows all the rules of fair trade, which means they pay their workers fairly and treat them with respect. Even more though, Sindyanna will use the profits to support programs like the hydroponics project. But wait, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but will the hydroponics project really work? Well, my friends, I asked this exact question to Yoav and Nadia. Yoav told me that there are a lot of changes going on in the world and that we should prepare for them, even if it's hard to imagine a future that's really different. For example, growing food in cities and helping people become producers themselves. It might not seem like such a big thing today, but in the future, when technology has changed the kinds of jobs that people can get, people need to be prepared to support themselves by using new technology.
And I want to be part of it. So I'm doing everything I can to become part of it. And I'm doing everything I can for Arab women will be a part of it as well. And this is why I'm sure it'll work in one way or the other.